Why are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Suno Indians, and Haitians? Why does it seem like you guys have the hardest time? Why do you guys have no place but America to call your home? Why doesn't anyone want to defend you? Why doesn't anyone stand up for you? A bill was passed for Asian hate crimes. They defend the Jewish people, which the suffix ish means to be like. But every time you're going through something, every time there's something bad happening to you, nobody comes to your aid. Nobody comes to help you. Why is that? I'm gonna start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, 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 Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this beautiful truth and teach sincerity and rule well. I want to give a sincere shalom to all you Akim, to all you Dakim out there teaching this word also in sincerity and in faith. And I want to give sincere shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, you sincere Akim and Aqua that watch our videos, all right? The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Yahweh or Jehovah, and his name means he exists, all right? He's the existing one, the Ancient of Days, the Holy One of Israel. And the name of his only begotten Son is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, and his name means he to save, he to deliver. So when you call upon your power, you must say Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, all right? Because scriptures state in John 14:6 that Yahweh Shai is the way, the truth, and the life, and that no man may come unto the Father but through me. And Yahweh is the reason why we're in the downtrodden state that we're in, man. He's the reason that he had to send Yahweh Shai back to deliver us, man. Well, honestly, it's not Yahweh. If you want to get deep into it, it is Yahweh. But ultimately, it's because of us, man, because we went off. Because we wouldn't keep Yahweh Bashim Yahshai's law, statute, commandments. And we didn't honor him and we didn't respect him. We didn't fear him enough and we didn't reverence him enough to keep his laws and his statutes and to honor him, man. And so he put curses on us and he scattered us among all the nations. You know, Hosea, I believe it's 1:9. And then Yahweh Shai call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people. Now where is this place? Babylon the Great, aka America, man. Because here everyone can be a child of the Most High except us. When we tell people we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, we are the people of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. That is our power. We fit the curses. We break down the scriptures through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. We tell them all these great and powerful things that the Lord did and will do. Nobody listens to us. Nobody hearkens unto us. Everybody laughs at us and tells us we are not the people. Okay, it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Baruch 2:25. And lo, they are cast out to the heat of the day and to the frost of the night, and they died in great miseries by famine and sword and pestilences. And the house which is called by thy name hast thou laid waste, as it is to be seen this day for the wickedness of the house of Israel and the house of Judah. O Yahweh Shai, our power, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness and according to all that great mercy of thine, as thou speakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Yasharla, saying, if you will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. And that's exactly what's happened, man, pursuant to James 1:1. Okay, we've been scattered and we've been reproached, man. James, a servant of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, and of Ha'arawan, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. Okay? Continuing on to verse 29, where I will scatter them, verse 30, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am Ha'arawan, their power, and I will give them in heart and ears to hear it. Who is he giving this to? The elect, man. The 144,000 men, the 144,000 prophets, 12,000 from each tribe, and the elect remnant, men, women, and women that make up the 1/3 that sincerely believe on him. Verse 32, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before Ha'arawan. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will drive no more my people out of Israel. I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. So why are we downtrodden? Why are we praising Yahweh Shem from the land of our captivity? Why are we scattered? Deuteronomy 28 and 15 all the way down. We're going to go through it. We're going to break it down. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Shem Shah thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed thou shalt be in the city, and cursed thou shalt be in the field. Now, what does this mean? City is Babylon the Great, and the field is the rest of the world, man. We are cursed in Babylon the Great, okay? Verse 17, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store, okay? Meaning what? The bank account, man. Okay? Thy basket, what we bring in, our daily bread. It's a metaphor, it's parabolic, all right? Cursed shall be our daily bread. We only get daily bread to live by, but Jake is fucking poor, man. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Jake ain't fucking rich. Even the Jakes that sell out to Esau and get his little tiny breadcrumbs making millions, man, that ain't shit. Real riches is gold, land, cattle, silver, substance, servants. We don't have none of that shit. We're slaves here, man. We got social security numbers. We are slaves. We are in the land of our captivity. We ain't never gonna be rich. We ain't never gonna make enough money. Okay, there's people out here making trillions of dollars, got thousands of dollars in land, gold, cattle, servants. We rich. I mean, we poor, Slaki. Verse 18, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land and the increase of thy kin and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. When you come in the house, you got a fucking nagging woman, or just shit ain't going your way. When you go out the house, at a moment's notice, you could just die, because we're in the valley of the shadow of death. Verse 20, the Lord shall send Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings whereby thou hast forsaken me. Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land where thou goest to possess it. A fine example of that is the Native Americans, man. Okay, when Esau came up over there, the pestilence clave unto them and killed them off, man. That was the main reason that Gad was subject to the captivity, because we was beating Esau in the war, man. That pestilence. It explains what happened to us in verse 22. Yahweh shall smite thee with the consumption and with the fever, with inflammation and with an extreme burning and with the sword and with blasting, with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Who is thee? Who is the thee? Esau, man. And the sickness and pestilence as well. Okay? This is what pursued Gad and the rest of their tribes as well, man. Verse 23, and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. And Yahweh shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust from heaven, and it shall come down unto thee until thou be destroyed. Okay? When the Israelites shall still inhabit the land of Israel, because Israel is the land of milk and honey, man. And Yahweh made it so that it wasn't like that anymore. And it dried up. Verse 25, Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and thou shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And this is exactly what happened with Gad and the rest of the nations, man. Anytime we tried to revolt against Esau, we lost. We weren't able to overcome him, man. And they started off with the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Verse 26, and thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air and unto all the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Verse 27, and Yahweh shall smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst be healed. And Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Meaning what? He's going to smite you with madness, man. He gonna make you bugged out. He gonna smite you with all this. He gonna smite you with madness, man. You're gonna be following after all these false gods, after all this false doctrine, after everything that is besides the truth, and with blindness, man. Precept to that would be Romans 11 and 9. All right. Verse 29, and thou shalt grope at noonday. Let's grab that actually, just for edification's sake. Romans 11 and 9. And David saith, I'm gonna start from verse 7. Actually, Salakia. Within Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, Yahweh Shemashah hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And Dawadah saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and back down and bow down their back all way, which is a direct precept to verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee, man. Meaning what? You're gonna be blind to this truth, man. And no man's gonna save thee. Literally, no man is gonna save you. Yahweh Shai is gonna have to come and save you. He's not gonna come back as a man. He's gonna come back as an angelic force. Okay, thou shalt betroth the wife, and another man shall lie with her. You know, that's going into this adultery that's running rampant out here, man. You know, Jake be out here bragging about, oh, I fucked that nigga, bitch. I slept with his wife. You know, rappers you talk about, oh, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. You know, all kind of crazy ass shit. I be fucking on that nigga, bitch. You know, it's literally because of the curses. I'm breaking it down to you right here and right now. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and feel longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand, which is going into slavery, man. Our children were sold into slavery and taken away from us, man, ripped away from us. Okay? Yep. Verse 20 verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. And Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king which thou set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone, which he brought us over here unto Babylon the Great. And here we started serving Jesus Christ and Allah. Okay, the wood represents Jesus Christ because that damn cross is a fucking wooden idol, and that damn stone represents Allah, man. You know, the Kaaba, the Mecca, man. You know, that giant wooden cube made of stone that people pray to, man. I tell Muslims they pray to a goddamn Rubik's cube, man. It's fucking Jake, man. He's lost. Verse 37, thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations where the Yahweh shall lead thee. Oh, you're a damn nigga, a spick, a Mexican, Hispanic, you're black. Okay? Name one person on the earth literally this color. Nobody on the earth is literally this color. You're not black. You're brown, man. So the fucking curses. Verse 38, and thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, but shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. And thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thy olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity, which is exactly what happened to us. And all thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. And the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail, which is going into who? The strangers going into these other nations, man. All these other nations are very high above us, man. They get the best of the best of Babylon the Great, man. But when it comes to us, man, they get Esau and these other nations can give a fuck about us, man. And they literally plan this. They literally plan this and continue to plan it to make sure that we don't get up, and that we stay in our downtrodden state of worshiping these idols, and that we stay in our lowest state of being downtrodden and being mind controlled and being controlled, man. Pursuant to Psalms 83, man, they're taking crafty counsel against us, man. And Esau, Edom, and these other nations, man, they lend to us, man. They own everything. The house that I'm living in right now, we don't own that shit, even though our name's on it. The bank owns that shit. Our land, the bank owns it. Our money, the bank owns it. Everything that we get lended to us, the bank owns it. Who owns the banks? The 13 ruling families, man. Which ultimately there's 13 ruling families because it goes back to Yahweh Shai and the 12 apostles, which makes up 13, man, which I learned from the apostle Gabar. Continuing on in verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee and overtake thee. till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder upon thy seed forever. Okay? These curses are going to be upon us for a sign and for a wonder, man, because everybody's wondering, why the fuck are we being fucking treated so badly, man? Why the fuck do we go through all this shit? And it's because of these curses, man. Literally, these curses are a clue to who the Israelites really are, man. This proves who we really are. Verse 47, because thou servest not Yahweh Bashem Yahshua thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh Bashem Yahshua shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. For edification's sake. Look, yokes of iron. Who are the only people that had yoke of iron, man? It's us. Verse 49, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. When Esau first came over here to the Latin tribes over here, and to the Incans, the freaking Issachar and fucking Reuben, and these northern kingdom tribes over here in South America, man, when the conquistadors came, okay? And when he came over here to Gad, Cristobal Colon, okay? And fucking Luis de Torres, man. They brought a Hebrew interpreter because he knew we spoke Hebrew, man. They came over here from the prophet Esdras, man, because he knew we sailed the sea and came to the land of Ashareth, man. That's what America's really called, Babylon the Great, the land of Ashareth, man, where King David came to get all his gold, and King Solomon. Okay, that's a whole different lesson for a whole different day. But, you know, these people exalt thyself as the eagle, pursuant to Obadiah 1 and 3, man. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh Shem Shai, thus saith Ha'arawan Yahweh Shem Shai concerning Eden. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh Shem Shai, an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Meaning what? Nobody fucks with Esau Edom, man. And nobody, you're clearly starting to see that more and more in these last days. Nobody's jacking Esau, man. Verse 3, the pride of thy heart is deceive thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay, because Esau is very prideful, man, you know. And pride goeth before destruction, and haughty spirit before a heavy fall, man. You know, verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, what is thy nest? Those satellites, man, and all that shit they got up there in space. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Okay? Hold on. Look. It's an eagle. It's literally Rome incarnated, Egypt incarnated. It's all the same, man. Edomite ruled kingdoms and fucking prophecy, man. Egypt wasn't an Edomite ruled kingdom, but their symbol was still the eagle. Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor shew favor to the young, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kin, or the flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. He ate up all of God's freaking farmland when we taught him how to farm and shit, man, and killed all our flocks and our kin and our sheep, man. Verse 52, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedest throughout all the land, throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which Yahweh Shai thy power hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body and the flesh of thy own sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh Shai thy power hath given thee. And the siege and the straitness where thine enemies shall distress thee. Cannibalism, man. Verse 54, and so that the man that is very tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother and towards the wife of his bosom, toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Why do you think there's so many single baby moms out here that are so-called Black, Latino, or Native American, man? This right here should be saying you that we gonna have a man is gonna have children, he gonna leave them. Okay, that's why we got Crips and Bloods out here gangbanging, so much black on black crime, Mexican on Mexican crime, so on. So Judah on Judah crime, Issachar crime. So much crime against the tribes, man. So much tribe on tribe violence, man, because of this right here. Verse 55. So he will not give to any of them the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he had nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness, where thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. A tender, delicate woman among you, which will not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom and toward her son and toward her daughter, man, which is why our women are so stiff-necked and haughty, and they don't hearken unto us, man. Verse 57, but they so quick to be submissive to any man of the other nations, but to us, man, they just, I hate black men. Black men ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit. Man. Verse 57, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them from one of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, where thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, Yahweh Shai, Ha'arawan Yahweh Shai, thy power, okay, Yahweh, thy power, okay, then Yahweh shall make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cling unto thee. And every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahweh Shai bring upon thee until thou art destroyed, till thou be destroyed. And ye shall be left in few number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahweh Shai thy power. And it shall come to pass that Yahweh shall rejoice over you to do you good and multiply you. Yahweh shall rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land where thou goest to possess it. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from the end of the earth, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods which neither thy fathers have known, even wood and stone, which I was saying earlier, man. James 1 and 1, which I brought out. Verse 65, and these nations and among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But Yahweh shall give thee a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind, man. No aspirations, no vision, no goals, no nothing. So all Jake does is play the game and fucking smoke weed no matter where he's at, no matter what nation he's in. Verse 66, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, would the Most High it were even, and even thou shalt say, would the Most High for morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, man. And how do we get here? The transit. How did Judah and Benjamin and Levi get over here, and the various other places? Northern Kingdom get to fucking the Dominican Republic, Colombia, these other places, man. The damn transatlantic slave trade. And Egypt just represents captivity, man, because our first and foremost captivity was in Egypt, man, which was promised unto Abraham. He'd rise up a great nation out of Egypt and deliver them. Okay, continuing on with ships. By the way where I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there shall ye be sold unto bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, which goes into what? Redeem, man. Quanah, redeem. Okay? So that's why we in this downtrodden state. That's why we're going through everything that we're going through, man. That's why all this is happening to us. When to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yah, Bashim Yahshai, Bashir Rakah Kadash. Till next time I say Shalom.